Sam's cup of tea. Sam's cup of tea.
Hello and welcome to Sam's Cup of Tea. Today we'll be talking about Apex Legends. This is the new game from Respawn Entertainment that was just dropped on for PC, Xbox and PS4 on Monday, just out of the blue. Barely any sort of pre-advertising or anything like that. It just kind of appeared. And it's completely free. It's a Battle Royale game. Now, if you don't know who Respawn Entertainment are, they developed Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2. And strangely, I hadn't played either Titanfalls until this weekend, the past weekend. And I didn't know anything about Apex Legends coming out at all. And funnily enough, I'd been playing a lot of Battle Royale. I've been playing a lot of Fortnite and Call of Duty Blackout and a bit of PUBG. And I downloaded Titanfall 2 to have a break from the Battle Royale games. I was feeling a bit pissed off with Blackout. And I'd heard a lot about Titanfall 2 being this amazing sort of missed gem, you know, this hidden gem that a lot of people had sort of overlooked. And I didn't expect the servers to be filled at all, or to be able to get in any lobbies, which kind of was true. But I downloaded it for about £5, probably about $8 from the PSN store. And I wanted to really get stuck in the campaign. I'd heard a lot of good things about the campaign, and that it was just worth a purchase, you know. So I downloaded it on Sunday, and I played about halfway through the campaign just in one sitting, and it was just fantastic. It brought back a lot of what I loved about Halo, what I loved about the older Call of Duties, and I found out later that it's actually the team who made Call of Duty Modern Warfare and the previous titles before that. And I remember feeling over the years disillusioned with Call of Duty, especially the single player after Modern Warfare. I feel like a lot of people, Modern Warfare was the last sort of good single player one, and there's just something missing, and it's difficult to put your finger on it. And the same with Titanfall 2 in that what makes it great, it's difficult to say what really makes it feel so good, because there are all these individual elements that you find in other video games, like the shooting mechanics and high movability and high mobility, and science fiction tropes and good graphics and guns and all the traditional things. And obviously you have the Titans, all the things that you expect in a video game, but Titanfall 2 just works in this really unique way, and it has a unique twist on everything that it does. So yeah, I was enjoying that, and then obviously Monday this thing dropped. So I'm going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about my experiences playing it from Monday through to today. So I've been playing it about 4 days, and what I can say is my impressions so far, I absolutely love it. It's actually my favourite Battle Royale game so far. I know it's early days to say that. There are some flaws, but overall I think that it's worth downloading. I mean, it's free. So let me explain how it works. So unlike other Battle Royales, you don't have the option to go solo. You have to play in a team of 3. So it's you and 2 other people. At the beginning of a match, you'll be ranked first, second or third, and you can pick out of 8 characters. So this isn't a game where you have your own blank canvas character and you customize the clothes and whatever. This is like Overwatch, if you know what Overwatch is like. You pick out of 8 characters. I think 6 are available, and there's 2 that you can buy, or buy with credits, or buy with real currency. So they all have their special abilities and roles. So like there's the classic medic and assault and support, but they all have very unique abilities. So at the beginning of the match, you pick each one, and then it starts as every battle royale game does. You're in the ship and you're going to jump down and you can see the map below. But in this case, there is a team leader picked who can veto it to somebody else. But the team leader will pick where they go. They can suggest it, and then they control the 3 people. So you fly down together, which really creates this like feeling of unity. And you land together, and then you, as normal battle royale games, you just pick up as much loot you can get. Get as many items as you can. The first thing I noticed was that picking up loot, especially on the consoles, can be a little bit dodgy sometimes. PUBG is quite slow. Just certain things can be a little miss. But this has to be the best battle royale system for picking up weapons and customizing things. So, for example, if you pick up an assault rifle and then you pick up a scope, it'll immediately attach, but you can also switch it very, very easily, so from one to the other. If you pick up an item that you don't need, it'll visually tell you that you've not got any items. So if you pick up a sniper scope and you've got assault rifles, it'll tell you this is useless, So all of that is made very, very clear. So you can move quite quickly with the looting system. Also, the map is what I found after playing it for the first day. I found that a lot of my experiences in other battle royales, Fortnite, PUBG, and Blackout, there are long swaths of time where you're sort of running across long terrain, whether it's through a forest or just over a hill or something like that. But there's a lot of that. If you play a lot of battle royales, you will have those experiences eventually where you land really far away from the circle and you're just running. On this game, it feels like the map is big, but it's very densely populated. You can still get distant shots from people, like sniper shots, but it rarely felt like I was just running from one place to another, hoping that I didn't get shot in the open. This has something to do with not only the level design, but the mobility. So unlike Titanfall 2, you can't wall run. Maybe one character might be able to do it, I'm not sure. I haven't played a character that can, but you're very mobile. You're able to slide, and this sliding ability is very useful. So if there's like a mudslide hill, you can just slide down that, or a hill. You can just slide straight down it, and you just cover distance very, very quickly in this game. And there are a lot of zip lines. There's a sort of balloon thing you can fly up the rope and then sort of jettison out like a parachute out further on. So you can really cover distance very quickly in this game, which makes it a lot more satisfying, in my opinion. So that's very good. What else is there? So the way that the abilities work is that because each character has a lot to bring to the table, teamwork is very, very important. If you try and go lone wolf, which I've seen people do on teams where they fuck off to another town or something to get some loot, if they get attacked by a team, they are dead. Like they are most of the time dead, because even though you've got abilities that might help you escape or support, they also have those things. So the game works very hard to promote teamwork and reward it. And a lot of players, in other games, it's very difficult sometimes. If you're just like me, I don't have a lot of friends to play that I know online. So I play with just random people. And, if I go on the headset and say hello, 80% of the time nobody replies. And so in this case, they have this ping system, which is linked to just like one button, and then you can bring up a wheel. But it's very, very intuitive, because you can, like, at the snap of a button, you can sort of ping a location in the distance just by aiming at it and say, let's go this way, let's go that way. Or you can look at an item and press the same button aiming at that and say, hey, there's some ammo here, blah, blah, blah. And you can also ping enemies. Oh, there's an enemy here, I'm getting attacked. And this is used a lot. If you start to use it in a game, I found that the other people start to cooperate, and it really if they're a bit shy to talk or they just don't want to talk to strangers. It's this very efficient communication, and it allows one player to really take a leadership position, or each player to at different points say, hey, I think we should go this way, I think we should. And it just works very well. I mean, I have had a few blunders where I've had like shitty teammates who don't do anything, aren't efficient, and get us all killed or whatever. But overall, it's probably the best experience I've had of playing with random people and it being actually working as a team. The other thing that really promotes teamwork, which is good, is that obviously, like all other games such as Fortnite, PUBG and Blackout, you can get knocked down. So if you get hit and it's not a headshot, you get knocked down to the floor, and you can, if you've got a shield, you can equip that to defend yourself. And obviously your teammates can revive you, which takes maybe, I don't know, 5 seconds or whatever. But if that runs out, then you die. But then you're sort of they can loot your, like it's like a token, and they've got a certain amount of time to take this token from your body. And then if they get the token, they can then go to like it's like a respawn point, and they're all across the map. If they take that item there, they press the button, and then the person will come back, return, without any weapons granted, which is really fucking annoying. Because if it's halfway through the kind of game, coming back with no weapons is kind of shite. But it still gives people a good chance to kind of bring their teammate back if they're working in a team. So again, there's like a high survivability rate. And what I found was that each game that I played was just filled with really memorable close calls or big long battles that seemed to really fill out the experience. Whereas in other games, I felt like I was chasing an amazing moment from, an hour ago. And you're playing a lot of game time to try and get back to that kind of golden moment, or that kind of flow that you manage to achieve, and the rest of it is just kind of like just looting and then just traveling to one place, or just getting shot immediately from behind. Which again brings me to another point, which is that I know I'm not very good at battle royale games. I'll be the first to say that, especially Blackout. Call of Duty, I've never been great, but one thing I was getting annoyed about in Blackout and other battle royale games is that you can very easily just get shot from nowhere. You were just running from one place to another and you get shot from behind, and there's no response time. It's over, and all of that time's been wasted. And granted, that's part of the parcel with battle royale, but in this game, what makes it special is that it has shields and things like that, but it all makes sense in the universe, and it reminds me of Halo in that sense, where there's a little bit more survivability time, but it really suits the game. And if you get shot at, I've rarely just been running along and just, one hit kill and that's it, it's over. You have some time to respond, and with all the abilities that each character has got, it helps you sometimes in those emergency situations. So it really promotes you to, when a game's finished, to play again, because as you're looting things, you feel as though you're not just wasting time. Like, there's been a lot of occasions in other battle royale games, and I'm sure other people will be with me on this, where you spent a good 15 minutes making a great loadout, and then to just be killed from somewhere you didn't even see. You try to turn around and it's over, and that rarely happens in this game, which I really appreciate. Another thing I really like about this game is it reminds me of Halo. It's probably the closest Halo-like experience I've had since Halo. It just works in a lot of ways. It really works in a lot of ways, and it's a lot of fun. And that really is something that I've missed a lot in other games. With PUBG, I like PUBG because it's going for this ultra-realistic shooter where it makes sense that your guy can't run fast and that you get shot from whatever. But Blackout didn't really make sense to me because it's sort of in the middle, Blackout. And it's kind of like, it looks like a realistic shooter, but, well, it kind of does. I suppose it's a bit cartoony, but it plays very arcadey, and with all this armor, it just seems bizarre sometimes when you've got someone in your sights and you just hit sort of tin, and it just seems a bit weird. And the amount of times I've been killed by somebody with a fucking level 3 armor with it on his head, it just seems out of place slightly, and as though they're trying to fit this realistic looking military shooter into the sort of guise of battle royale. And in this, it just seems right. It seems right to have shields and to have those kinds of things. It works in the universe, just as in Halo. You understand that the person's got an overshield. It makes sense in the actual context of the game. You know, you're a Spartan. You've got this. So I really like that. But I've just been having such fun on it. And if you're a fan of battle royale games, I really suggest that you check this out. The graphics is amazing. For a battle royale game, it's great. And it really is AAA quality. I haven't really had any connection issues, any lag. It's all been really smooth. And it's just crazy to me that this is free. It's a free game. And one of the reasons why I was compelled to making this video to support the game is that I feel slightly embarrassed that I took so long to sort of get on the Titanfall 2 wagon. That these developers listened to the feedback from Titanfall 1, I heard, that didn't have much of a single player, and really tried everything they could to improve on Titanfall 2, and made a great game, and it got massively overlooked, and arguably massively overlooked to games that didn't really deserve it, especially not now with the current state of Battlefield. And I mean, Call of Duty's okay, but there's no single player, of course. And so I want this company to succeed. And seeing on Twitter, I saw that the EA didn't really have any input in this. This is Respawn Entertainment's complete game from the ground up, and their design, and you can really see that there's no malicious there's no malicious designs to grab your money in this game. You can download this game and play it and have all the fun you want without spending a penny. All of the extra stuff is for currency and cosmetics, and to be honest, you get a generous amount of cosmetics as well, just naturally playing the game. And I hear that next month in March they will be bringing out battle passes like Fortnite. But again, if it's anything like Fortnite, that's not really too bad. You know, every 3 months or so, spending like, you know, $7 to $10. I mean, that's not really a lot to ask. And seeing the quality of this game, it really does. It really is worth it. On to some criticisms. Obviously, I don't want to sound like I'm totally biased, but I am. Hey, I'm a fan of this game. It's great. It's good fun. But there are a few things that I think could be improved or changed, or things I had problems with. The first thing is obviously the structure of the game, which is its limitation as well. What makes it great is also what kind of holds it back from really, really competing with Fortnite and other games. Obviously, in Fortnite, you've got many different modes, and in this game, there's just one single mode, just three, teams of 3. And I think that there could be space to do solo or duo or something like that, but there isn't anything at the moment with that. I imagine that through popular demand, they will listen to the feedback and probably implement that in the future. They seem really keen to support this game, and I want to see them succeed. I don't blame them for seeing PUBG and seeing the rise of Battle Royale and thinking, right, we're going to put our finger on the pulse this time, and we're not going to be, left in the dust after working so fucking hard on a game that's great but just doesn't fit the zeitgeist. So good for them for making a sort of zeitgeist-filled game. A criticism is that the long-range battles, although fun, don't really amount to much because it's very difficult to get a kill like that. The time to kill is so slow, and some of the rifles don't really take off a lot of damage that you have to hit somebody at least 3 or 4 times, I've felt, to knock them down. And most of the time, if there's like a long-range battle, you're just hitting someone a couple of times and then they find cover and they medicate again, and then it's back to the same thing. So that's a bit of an issue, I think. Maybe they need to reduce the time to kill just slightly, but again, that's to do with the armor and all the other stuff, so it's not that simple. But yeah, thank you for watching and listening to this. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be covering a lot of video games and movies. And download Apex Legends. Do it, because it's really worth your time, and it's free. So thank you very much, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.
Yeah!
We took out the killer guy.
You are the Apex Champions.